Good morning, Hive. Overall, we're just gonna be waiting for direction and confirmation for some buys. Just a quick tip for whoever is here early and first. Trading gold all-time high. I've been trading this for a very long time. Every time there's an all-time high, you guys try to avoid counter trend. So once gold goes all-time high, it continues, and this all-time high is gonna be the new support. Even sometimes there's gonna be massive retracements, but gold just keeps going up and up and up. So holding some buy positions would be very good. So overall, let's just wait for some setup for our scalp this morning, because there's already massive release of volume here. So I'm expecting some consolidation here on this level. But if it taps this demand level here, would be good, and probably here is enough, because here it needs at least a good tap also for another continuation. But overall, sometimes trading all-time high, gold doesn't really retrace. This move, gold doesn't retrace that much and can still continue. So that's that. Alright guys, I'm looking for some potential entries on buys here, but again this fair value gap has been respected, but I was expecting this candle to have a wick down, a good wick down before a good continuation back up, but let's see. Some good entries. I'm only expecting to do some buys until we see some gold sell scalps, because again during all-time highs it's so much better for buy trades and leave some of them open, especially small entries, because they have a really good potential for market continuation. So let's see how this candle goes. So 30 seconds for this candle. It's gonna create a small fair value gap. Market will retrace, because I really need to see a good wick down from this previous candle. So the retracement will not be much, but without that wick down, retracement can exceed this candle. Again, this candle does not have a wick down. It's creating a lot of impulse on this buys, but we're not gonna buy yet because we are very close to the supply zone. So you can expect some few sellers are waiting on this level here, or until we find a good break on the all-time high. So once those breaks, a potential good entries are gonna be waiting for there. Again, I was expecting some buys already from 3, 5, 3, 7, but without clear confirmation, I will not take the impulse buy here. So now we are under supply zone. We can look for some liquidity on this level here, at least this level, if you want to see some retest to this demand zone. Now that we see some 2-minute candles here, so we'll wait for this candle to close. 2 minutes. Fair value gaps here and here. No wick down, so it means sellers are still waiting to enter the market. For that, couple of retracements, so we'll just see. So if hitting this level here would be without a wick down here. There's gonna be some good potential scalps for the sells. So let's see. So I'm gonna be waiting for some candle close here. Alright, this is a good potential retracement here, since this candle does not have a wick down. But this candle cannot close a full bullish candle. So maybe we can scalp those retracement on the sells. It actually closed a strong bullish candle right now. Again, I mentioned it should not close a strong bullish candle. It has no wick up and the candle has no wick down, especially looking at the MT5, which zooms in on our candle. It has no wick down or no wick up, but it's a bullish candle. So can expect some potential entries here. I was expecting for some sells, but seems like market is gonna potentially keep going. So this is just some retracements here. Again, I wanted to sell from 3540. Now in it's already 3539. But again, the candle is too strong. Market is still here, respected the supply zone, but let's see for how long. Because there's gonna be a good few more push for our buy side. So some sells, maybe we'll retest this bullish revalue gap here, because this previous candle does not have a wick down. So there's gonna be some zone on this level here, this one on the bullish revalue gap. Retest that probably before a good continuation, or market this candle close a strong bearish candle, and we can again really expect to see some sells. I would like to have some sell entries already, but need to find good entry levels here. Market price is 3539.5 and still floating on this level here. It's gonna be hard to look for some entries yet, because market is gonna consolidate on this level. So let's just be a little bit more patient with the market. 40 seconds for this candle to close. No wick up again, but still bearish candle here. 38, 35, 38, 30 seconds. So I think we can look for good scalps here. So 38, 239, but sorry, they tapped the bullish reversal gap. Good reversal candle here. Makes a good wick up. I need to see a good wick up, then potential down continuation. I set some entries on 3538, 3537. Candle goes up again. I need to see. Okay, so let's look for some sells here, but just give me a minute. Still confused on the volume. Some parties here. Wait team, because the volume is still not there. We have a good confirmation already, but I need to see more volume. We're still floating at entry, waiting for a bit more move. Again, waiting for that volume. So once we see a good volume, then I want the market for that good retracement there. Okay, good wick up already. Let's go for some sells. Let's go for some sells. Okay, I need more volume for that candle. Then I will send the trade. Alright, we can go for some sells at 3357. Sell scalp here. But this candle, I really need this candle to close bearish. Okay, I don't want to see some liquidity grab on this candle here, because if this candle closes bullish, I'll manually exit the trade. This is just some scalp trades, guys. And we're still lacking one more confirmation. This candle needs to close below this small bullish reversal gap here. Alright, so market price is still at entry. Market price is still at entry. 1 minute for this candle to close. We are still floating on entry. If there's gonna be any shift on the market based on this candle's close, then I will not hold this trade. Again, I will not hold this trade, and will suggest to close it once you see the candle close not bearish. So waiting for that volume to kick in. Still floating in entry, so the volume is not there. I'm still waiting for that volume. 50 seconds for the candle to close. Alright, 40 seconds, just floating on entry, very small profits. Twenty seconds. $10. If this candle close hammer, bullish hammer, then I will close at entry. So alright, let's close this trade probably on entry for a while. Again, this trade will be closed on entry. So no volume yet. Close this trade on entry, just floating on entry. Even if trade goes our direction, alright, the volume is very indecisive here. So closing this trade already. Guys, this trade is still on entry. I'm closing. Personally, without volume, I do not like trading without volume on this level here. So we want to see a good consistent volume first. I'll just let it float before we look for another entry. Market is still on entry, so I'll wait for another setup so we can look for a good continuation one. Again, market can still potentially continue our analysis on sell, but that's gonna be some risk. Like this good impulse risk on the move on the market. So that's that. We just reached one of our lows right here. Good continuation there, but this candle does not have a wick up, so you can find some impulse rejection here from those cells before it can continue. So, and it's just floating on and still on entry level here. So I'll just wait. Let's wait for a good setup. So still closed some entries. Because this level is holding. And once a level is holding, it's a good place to wait. You can see that very indecisive candle right here. So as you can see, this candles here does not have a wick down. This bullish candle here does not have a wick down. Just market just grab some recovery from that. Again, without the previous candle's wick, there's gonna be very less continuation. Also, this bearish candle here does not have a wick up, so market can still potentially reverse. So we'll find some consolidation on this level here. So good bullish candle here, good rejection here. I think it's a good place to get some potential buy entries. But again, we are in between bullish value gap and the supply zone, so that range is very tight here, right? So we cannot find some random entries yet. Just enter this level here. It's gonna be a lot less confirmation. I'm looking for a good continuation move, because right now it's just scalping on this level here. It's ranging here, and candle confirmation is not there. No wick down here, no wick down here. Even this bearish candle here does not have a wick up, and that's why. Still patient with the market. So let's see. So let's see how this candle goes. Guys, make sure that you are sync with the stream. Alright, so market price that you're currently seeing in your MT5 should be sync with the current candle as well on the stream, because YouTube has this loss input sometimes that loses synchronization with during the live stream, because the live stream is only 5 seconds delay. So I'll wait for some retracement on this bullish revive gap here, because looking at this candle right now, it can grab liquidity and just potentially drop. So I need to see a good confirmation that it's not gonna do that. Okay, market moving up again. No wick down. No wick down. So it's gonna be hard to tell for a good continuation. But let's see if it kicks in more volume, because right now they're already hitting one of the major rejections here on this level. So let's see if price can continue to pump this market here, because we are on the rejection zone now. Let's see. These candles have no wick down, so again we are losing that confirmation. That's one of the confirmation that we use daily, and we cannot just base impulse it on an entry like these ones. So let's see if the high can be broken, so we can find some good potential kicks there. I don't like trading this candle. Again, this candle is very scary. because without the wick down, same candle can just drop within seconds, within the 5 minutes time frame. Never liked this candle. One minute 40 seconds for the candle to close. At least that should give us something confirmation on this level here if we're gonna buy or sell. 3 consecutive bullish candle, but again you can see that this candle here is not strong enough and very indecisive. Third one makes a good candle here, and the fourth one just made an impulse move tapping this zone here. I'm waiting for this candle to close. 1 minute. So market is choppy on this level here, but overall market is still retracing and consolidating inside this level. So as you can see, market still stuck on this box. We needed to escape for potential continuation, because if it would have tapped here, then that would be a good place to buy for that pump and potentially break this. But it tapped this level here and tapped this level here on this zone on 3543 to 3547, and that's gonna be it. So market retraced back on entry and close. Strong bearish rejection there. So that would be a good place for some sell. Alright guys, I'm selling. Let's sell here, this level here, 3341, 334T. Some good rejection here. Don't over risk again. Okay, do not over risk this trade. Do not over risk this trade, because again our market is choppy, but that's a good rejection there. So I'm expecting some big moves here. So only putting a bit of, because our entry level would be around here, this zone here, from 41 to 42. All right, I did not put any high risk entries here because market is still choppy on this level. Okay, again, floating on entry. Do not like the floating on entry level here. Because the stop loss for this would be just above the high. That would be just above the high. So there we go. Some volume is kicking in. I need to see a good continuation for that first. Let's so we can tap some targets here. First target would be on this range here, then here, before reaching the demand zone at least. A very indecisive candle. A very indecisive candle. That's why I said this bullish candle here is very scary, because mostly buyers are getting trapped there. Alright? I'd rather get trapped at my entry rather than get trapped at the negative. So a lot of people got FOMO'd, think that the gold will pump from this level here, chose the big lot, then market reverse, and now they're floating negative. But I rather float near entry. I'm still waiting for a bit more volume here again. Still floating in entry. That's why this previous candle is scary. You do not want to enter that candle. But we already have good confirmation for sell. I just need a good strong volume coming. Small profits, guys. Small profits here, but I want to see a good clean drop here. Good clean drop. So that's okay. Making good profits now. Finally some volume. Good thing this candle created this candle from previous candle here, because never did like that type of candle. So you can secure some partials, guys. Again, you can secure some partials there. You're still floating in profit. You can secure some, because we're only scalping and we do not have stop loss again. Where is my setup? Floating an entry, but I will be holding some small runners here, and I'm still holding some buys as well. So that's that. So we're just doing some scalping, so make sure you do secure some of those moves. We're respected here. We might see a good reversal after, so make sure already leave only small runners, because market still has no volume on this level here. But that's a good rejection here. So I still have small runners. I'm still on this entry, guys. So waiting for this candle to close. If we see a good reversal candle here, then we will close the small entries. because this candle created a good wick down. This candle closed a strong bullish candle. Then from there, I'm looking for the opposite trade. I will counter our trade setup with a buy, because now we're having some good confirmations for our buy entry. First entry was a scalp, so 5. Now, waiting for this candle to close 1 minute 30 seconds. I would like to counter this trade. Good confirmation here. Good wick down, liquidity below the fair value gap. Good bullish candle closing. If this candle closes at 1 minute 20 seconds, I'll be entering some buys. And closing my small entries. Again, I'm waiting for this candle to close before I set up for another entry. "50 seconds. So this move can potentially break the all-time high again, because the confirmation here is alright. You can close the remaining small entries. 20 seconds. It's gonna retrace back again, but I'll be looking for some good potential buys here. 10 seconds for this candle to close. It will create a fair value gap on this level here. Tap the rejection. 5 minutes candle close. Makes a retracement. Alright. Closing previous entry, remaining closing previous trade there. Now, good confirmations here. Now give me a bit more volume on the market. 4, 5. Let's see if it can potentially go. Losing momentum here. Still on this box zone. Floating on entry, waiting for more confirmation here. So two trade entries first on our entry. Now this previous entry is already closed previous entry, so took some profits when it went down, then almost break even on some small runners there, expecting some move here. I really want to see this fair value gap retest here before a good continuation. Again, market is just consolidating on this level here. So every time we see a very strong volume from 4 a.m. from the release of 4 a.m. and there's going to be a strong volume, I always expect market from 5 to 6 to even around 7 to market just consolidate on this level here. So that's why once I see good strong volume at 4 a.m. I try to avoid trading at 5 to 6 because this is going to be a good consolidation ground. So but we can only look for scalps. Probably 8 to 10 would be the time where volume comes again. So after consolidation. Again, market is just floating above this entry level here. No sign of clean entry. I really want to look for more buys rather than sell scalp, but market keeps retracing. And entering some buys have major drawbacks here. Random buy. If you're on a swing trade, you can just click buy and forget about it. But on this market currently, SL is very wide. SL can be here or hold here, this level. So that's going to be a good place for holding trades for buys. Some closing the previous entries here, closing more trades here, some sells. I'm closing more entries on some sells. We're really not having a good market movement here. Good retest here. Now I need to see some volume. Because it created good created good wick down, liquidity here, good strong candle here, created broken the not really a change of character on this level, but good bullish candle, retracement for this level here. And now we need to see another respect on this fair value gap or tap at this demand zone that it just recently created for us for a good potential continuation. So now we have a good level for some buys here. Very slow market, very slow market. Again, very slow market because of the massive release volume from 4 a.m. With that volume release, expect some consolidation for our trading time. I'm still holding my risk back, my risk is still 0.2 because there's no confirmation. Once I see some good confirmation, I'll go for 0.4s again. So that I can reach our morning target. Again, we do have a morning target, so that's that. So I'll just wait, guys. I'll leave the market for now and just look at it until we see some confirmations and leave some alerts at least for potential buys there, because market is just consolidating and it's wasting time because volume might be released later on. Oh wow, market just pulled a reversal. Analysis was correct, but again the reversal for the bullish candle was not expected. But again, market is still inside this little here. So I'll just keep watching the market. So again, in order for us to look for those entry, I needed to respect our rules with a good candle wick down from our supply zone or demand zone. Alright, I rather wait for the market for good sniper entries and close it in on entry levels if market shift, then just to hope for the market to go that direction. Again, I do not want to enter a trade, then just hope for the market to go that direction. Okay, we have rules. That's how we maintain consistency. Again, I'm waiting for some good opportunities. Okay, so if market shift, I like closing near entry rather than far from entry levels. So I've heard people complaining as well, and people don't really like closing their trade on negative. Guys, it's part of trading. Alright, but why do people rather not close their trade, but hold their trade in a long negative? Alright, so again, I'm not holding any negative, guys. It's better to not hold any negative. Alright, negative trade, because I like closing them at entry level, because recovering them is so much easier than waiting if you even have entries from this level here to here from sell, and now you're just waiting for the market to come down. I do not need that stress in trading. That's why we have rules. Alright, and I'm teaching you to have discipline, and you have to make those rules. Okay, no setup is still a setup, guys. In trading, no setup is still a setup. So just patiently waiting for the right opportunity is all you need. Again, I have not reached my target yet from this morning. Just 0.20 here from previous entries, and close at entry level, just definitely on entry level here, so just 0 pips there, and close here some small partials, and closed on some reversals there, so almost like break even on my trade there. Again, so I'm still not having good profits this morning. Again, my target is consistency on daily profits, so I'll have to wait for that entry and just respect the market doing its thing. And once my rules are getting checked, then we can do and get those trades. Guys, your trade should be on profit. Again, your trade should be on profit. So we're up 20 pips already. Very slow market. Market, if you still have entries, market is back at entry. If you do not wish to leave some small runners, you can close on this level. All right. So you can just wait for another opportunity if you already close the trade. Again, guys, make sure to apply SL if you're still holding the trade for those small runners. Again, if you do not wish to hold the trade, you can close those trade at entry level. If you do not want to apply any more risk, you can close those trade on entry level, as mentioned previously. So very slow volume, guys. Indecisive moves still inside this box. Some potential sells already targeting this demand zone and this fair value gap here. Overall already reached the 7 a.m. Made some recovery on the first trade already from our second buys. So any more trades, I'll just send it to our premium group again. Any more trades, I'll just send it to our premium group because we still lose a lot of volume here. I'm still waiting for a good clean volume later on, so I'll just send those later on the group. So that's it for this morning. See you tomorrow. And again, sell opportunities just targeting this demand zone are still open, but I'll wait for a good setup later. I'll send it to you guys, and so we can reach our daily profit target, because right now only close around 200 and that's still far from our daily target. Still aiming for a bit more. So again, see you tomorrow. Done for today. Any more trades, again I'll send it to our premium group.